Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video on setting Supabase authentication up with inside either an existing FlutterFlow project or a brand new project. And in this video, I'm going to create up some brand new screens for create, login and an authenticated page to get redirected to. Of course, if you've already got those pages in your project already, then that's absolutely fine. Just move along to the section where we start configuring all of that up. But of course, if you haven't and you are new to Supabase as well, then this is the video for you, because inside Supabase, we're going to create a brand new project there and we're going to get everything configured where we need it to be in order for FlutterFlow and Supabase to talk together. So if you are sitting comfortably, let's get cracking. So here I am on the dashboard of Supabase. If you haven't created a Supabase account, please do go ahead and do that. The link, of course, is in the description. Of course, if you already have a project already, you can just skip this little section because we're going to be using this project in the next section on setting up with FlutterFlow. But if you haven't, I'm just going to click the new project option here and I'm going to choose my organization that I've got set up. And I'm just going to name my project login project here. Just a very simple one, and I'm going to say generate a new password, and I'm going to choose my region as West EU. Keep it on the free pricing plan and just choose create new project. So that's going to go away and do its thing. Now this will take a couple of minutes for the project to get created, so just leave that to do that and it won't take long before that's all set up for us. So in order to have our project created and working perfectly in FlutterFlow, we do need to create a table within inside Supabase. So I'm just going to click on the table editor option here once your project's been created, hit the create new table, and let's just give it some basic details. So I'm just going to type products in here. And I don't need to put anything like that in. I'm going to take off row level security because we're going to keep this particular sample very, very simple. Of course, row level security is something you're going to want to consider to implement. You don't want to keep your database open to any kind of attack of your data. So do have a look at row level security if you're not familiar with that. So we're just going to turn it off to keep this particularly simple here. Just hit confirm. That's looking good. So just down here, let's just create another column in here. And I'm just going to call this title, and with our type, let's just have a look down here. We're just going to give this a title text. There we go. Just hit save, and that is all that we need to do. So that will just make a very, very simple table for our application. So we're going to come back to Supabase very, very soon with inside this particular project, because we're going to need to pull some details out of it in order to set FlutterFlow up correctly in order to set up Supabase authentication. So we'll come back very, very shortly and do that. So here we are then back in FlutterFlow, and we are going to create a brand new Supabase authentication project. So this particular project is just going to include a login page, create an account page, and a page to direct our users to once they are authenticated. If you have already got a project already that has those pages in place and you're just looking to learn how to get Supabase set up with inside your own project, then please do skip to the next section where we'll start wiring up the widgets with inside the UI. But if you're not and you're willing to follow along and you want to do this from scratch, then please do follow this section. So we're just going to create a brand new project. I've called it Supabase Authentication, and I'm just going to create a blank project. So this screen, we're going to turn off the setup of Firebase. We're not interested in Firebase in this project. Just hit start building, and here we are with inside the UI builder right from with a scratch project. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the widget tree here, and on the left hand side I'm going to create a brand new folder. So just hit the new folder option, and I'm going to call this folder authentication. Okay, so this authentication folder will include our 2 pages for logging in and registering. It's good to get your projects organized, of course, with folders with almost like the named sections. It just keeps everything a lot more organized when your project starts to build up. So we're gonna create a new page. We're gonna put it in the authentication folder. So let's just hit the new page option just here, and we are going to create a couple of pages just off of the sample templates because it gets us to where we need to quite quickly. So the first thing that I'm going to create is this one here. Okay, I'm going to say use a template theme. So I'm going to just put just choose that there. I'm going to give this a page name, which is going to be home page. Okay, so this is the page that we're going to direct our users through to. Of course, I can't use home page. Let's just call this home, and I'll rename that in just a second. Of course, we've already got a home page, so we're going to want to delete that one out. We don't want that. Okay, let's just now rename that. So with that page selected, we can just go up to home and just choose page there. That's good, we're all good. So we've got our home page here. I'm just going to drop that into the pages up there. And in the authentication, we're now going to create our pages there. So just hit the little new page option. So here we're going to go on auth and we're going to look for a couple of sample pages that we like the look of. So let's firstly have a look for our login. So let's have a look here, this login 3, welcome back, sign in, excellent, we'll take that one. So let's just say use the template theme here. I'm going to call this one login page. And we're just going to delete a few things out of here. We don't want to do Google at this moment in time. We want to delete the Apple. We want to delete that little bit of text there, and we'll sort this text out later. So that's good. And let's now create a brand new page now, and let's now look on the auth, and we are going to look for register, I think, or can we do create maybe? There we go, create. So we've got get started. That's a create an account page. That's great. So we'll use the template theme there, and we'll just call this create account. And then just hit the create page. Okay, so we've got our 2 pages. Let's just drag those into authentication. There we go. And then we've got everything we need within inside there. Excellent. So let's just on this particular page here, let's just delete these options here. We don't want that. And let's get rid of that. I think that's good. We'll keep the title there. We don't need to change that for this particular sample. Okay, so we've got our pages there, which is good. We just want to now make some changes here. So the login page says don't have account, sign up here. So let's just select that, and we're going to go up to the actions. Okay, and we're going to bring up the add action, and we're going to navigate this to the create account page. So there we go, that's all that we need to do. And then similarly on the create account page, we're just going to actually redirect this user back. But actually I think the text on this sample is actually wrong. It says don't have an account, sign up here, but we actually are on the create account page. So we're just going to say already an account, okay, with a question mark, login here. Okay, there we go. And then we can just make sure the action is then set. Okay, hit add action, and here we can navigate to the login page there and close. There we go. So we've got a way of being able to get back and forth. I think what we need to do as well is we need to create an additional password field actually. So when you actually create an account within Supabase, or certainly within inside the kind of FlutterFlow setup, you're going to need to actually create an additional field for the confirmation of the password. Okay, so we just need to simply just kind of duplicate this particular password field. So on the left hand side, just choose the password and hit duplicate here, and then within this particular one have it selected, and just up the little pen there, we just need to change this to confirm, and I'll put the uppercase P for password. So we've got a distinct field, and within inside the actual hint text there, we just want to, or at least within the label text, we just want to say confirm password. There we go. So that's all that we need to do there. So we'll come back to that particular screen in a minute. Let's have a look at the login screen here. So we've got welcome back, fill out the form, email, password, sign in, don't have account. Okay, so that's looking all pretty good. So what we now need to do is within inside FlutterFlow is actually now configure the project to allow us to authenticate against Supabase. There's a couple of little bits that we need to change within inside FlutterFlow itself to get ready for us for that. So let's move over now to the settings and get that done now. So let's move over to the settings option within our project here. Let's hit that. Let's first choose the authentication option here, and we want to enable authentication. And in the authentication type, there's now a new option called Supabase. So choose a Supabase here, and then our initial page. So this is the page as soon as our application loads up, we want to always choose login, and then our logged in page is going to be our home page. Okay, now of course, when someone is already authenticated, the application will automatically redirect them to the home page as well. That's the power of FlutterFlow, is that if it already recognizes somebody is authenticated and not timed out, it will move them to that particular page. And we also now need to do some configuration within our project. So the next step that we need to do, and this is the only step that we need to do in the settings, is within inside the integrations option down here of Supabase. So if you choose that, and then we're just going to enable Supabase in our project, it's now going to ask us for some additional details. Now this is where we need to pop over to Supabase now to grab those details. So let's do that now. So here we are then back in Supabase on the home page of our project. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pass over some credentials that is needed and some URLs over with inside FlutterFlow. So just hit on the project settings option and we need to click on the API option here, and there's some detail that we need to pull over to FlutterFlow. The first one that we're going to pull across is the URL. So just hit the copy option here, move over to FlutterFlow, and with inside here, with inside the API URL, just paste what you need to in there. And with inside the API settings, move back over to the project API keys and just press copy there and move back over to FlutterFlow, and let's just paste that into the anon key. Now if we hit the get schema, we should correctly, which we do, see our products table that's come back, and that is a good indication that we've got both FlutterFlow and Supabase connected up quite nicely. Now we're not quite done yet because there's another little tweak that we need to make with inside the Supabase project just to streamline our create account process. So let's move down to the authentication option, and we need to move over to providers. So at the moment we are just going to support, in our example here, the auth provider of email. So we want the users to be able to sign in with their email address and of course create accounts with their email address. But in order to keep this particular sample quite straightforward, we're just going to turn off these two options here, because what that will allow us to do is it means that when somebody actually creates an account, we can instantly take them to the logged in page once they've actually created that account with inside our FlutterFlow project. So with that all in place, I think we're now set up with inside Supabase now, and we can head back over to our project and start hooking up some of the widgets with inside the UI. So let's go there now. So here we are then back in FlutterFlow. So let's just hit the little plus there just to make things just a little bit bigger for us. So let's focus on hooking up the sign in page. Okay, so we know that we got our email field and password field created for us in advance. We now need to hook up this sign in button. So just hit the sign in button, and we're going to move up to the actions option here, and we are going to click on the action flow editor. Let's just load that up here. So this button has already got an auth action associated with it. So what we now need to do is we now need to make a little change. Drop the little drop down there down, and we're going to go down to now Supabase Authentication. So just choose Supabase Authentication, and then you've got an option here called Login. Just select that, and you can see here that our email address and our password fields are still remain associated with this particular action. So that is all that we need to do on this particular screen. So just hit close. We're now going to just move over to now our create an account. So let's just choose create an account, and we're now going to do the same thing here. So with inside the create an account button, just select that. Let's move over to the actions, and let's just open up the action flow editor. Now this one here, this action that's already in on that button, is an auth login. We actually don't want to use that one. Okay, so let's just delete that action completely, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a brand new one in there, and we're going to call the Supabase authentication option here on the right, and we're going to choose the create an account. So with inside this option here, we need to choose the auth provider. So of course it's email, because that's the one that we've only got configured within our project. And here we've got the email field, so we can just quite simply choose email address, and in the password field we've got password, and then our confirm password is selected just there. So everything there is set up as far as the create an account is concerned. And there's a little bit of text there that talks about the issue with the making sure that we've actually, with inside the email provider, we've got that the email options turned off. So a little bit of text there that's well worth looking. But other than that, that's everything that we need. So I think we're now in a good position where we can now fire this up in test mode, and let's see if we get our authentication all working for us. Okay, here we are with our application running. So let's hit the sign up option here. I'm just going to pop my email address in there. I'm just going to put a very, very simple password. Of course, make sure your passwords do match, because you'll get a message coming back from Supabase. Hit create an account, and there we are. We are directed straight to our authenticated page. So that's all looking pretty good. Let's now just do a reload of the application, and let's try actually logging in as our account just to make sure that all of those details work. So let's just put my email address in, put my simple password in, hit sign in, and we should be there. There we go. So all of everything as far as authentication is working perfectly. There we go. Thank you for watching this video on getting Supabase authentication up and running with inside your project. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you found something useful there. Of course, if you love FlutterFlow, then you're in the right place. Please do subscribe to my channel. There's loads of FlutterFlow content on my channel. If you like no code space in general, then please do stick around as well. One thing I really do appreciate everybody does, and that of course is like the video. It really does get the video out there to the wider community with inside YouTube. So please do hit the like button. That would be much appreciated. So of course, until the next video, I'll see you real soon.